Joseph was a dreamer. God gave him vivid dreams, glimpses into a future where he was destined for greatness. In his dreams, even the sun, moon, and stars bowed down to him. He shared these dreams with his brothers. They didn't understand. They saw only their own insecurities reflected back at them, their hearts filled with jealousy. They resented Joseph's favored status, his fancy coat, and his prophetic dreams. Joseph was young and innocent. He didn't fully grasp the depth of their envy. He continued to share his dreams, unaware of the storm brewing within his brothers' hearts. They plotted against him. They wanted to silence his dreams and extinguish his light. The brothers' jealousy festered, growing into a dangerous plan. Joseph, oblivious to their scheme, went out to meet his brothers one day. He wore the coat his father had given him, a symbol of love and favor. This act, meant to show love, only fueled their rage. The sight of their brother approaching, clad in that coat, ignited a fire in their hearts. They decided to act. Their plan was set in motion. Joseph's brothers grabbed him, ripping the coat from his back. They threw him into a dry well, leaving him to die. His cries for help echoed in the darkness, but no one heard. As they sat down to eat, a caravan of traders passed by. One brother, Judah, saw an opportunity for profit. Instead of leaving Joseph to die, they decided to sell him into slavery. The traders took Joseph to Egypt, a foreign land far from home. He was sold to Potiphar, the captain of Pharaoh's guard. Joseph, stripped of his family, his freedom, and his dreams, was now a slave in a strange land. He had every reason to give up hope, but Joseph clung to his faith. Despite his circumstances, Joseph remained diligent and trustworthy. He worked hard and excelled in all his tasks. Potiphar recognized Joseph's abilities and promoted him. Joseph found himself in a position of authority, managing Potiphar's household. It seemed as though his fortunes were changing. However, Joseph's trials were far from over. Potiphar's wife noticed Joseph's handsome features and his strong work ethic. She was drawn to him and attempted to seduce him. Joseph, a man of integrity, refused her advances. Enraged by his rejection, she falsely accused him of assault. Potiphar believed his wife's lies and threw Joseph into prison. Once again, Joseph found himself in a dark and hopeless place. But even in prison, God's favor was upon him. Joseph's spirit remained unbroken. He used his time in prison to help others. One day, Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker were also imprisoned. Both had vivid dreams that troubled them. Joseph, with God's guidance, interpreted their dreams. He predicted that the cupbearer would be restored to his position and the baker would be executed. His interpretations proved true. Years passed, and the cupbearer forgot about Joseph. Then Pharaoh began having strange and disturbing dreams. He dreamt of 7 healthy cows devoured by 7 sickly ones, and 7 full ears of grain swallowed by 7 withered ones. None of his advisors could interpret these dreams. It was then that the cupbearer remembered Joseph. Joseph was summoned to Pharaoh. He listened intently to the dreams. With God's wisdom, Joseph interpreted the dreams, predicting 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of famine. Pharaoh, impressed by Joseph's wisdom and insight, appointed him as governor of Egypt. Joseph, once a forgotten prisoner, was now the second most powerful man in Egypt. Joseph, using his position of power, implemented a plan to store grain during the years of plenty. When the famine struck, Egypt was prepared. People from surrounding nations, including Joseph's brothers, came to Egypt for food. Joseph recognized his brothers, but they did not recognize him. He tested their hearts, eventually revealing his true identity. The brothers, filled with remorse for their past actions, begged for forgiveness. Joseph, with tears in his eyes, embraced them. He offered them forgiveness, acknowledging that God had used their betrayal to orchestrate a greater plan. Joseph's journey was a testament to the power of forgiveness and God's unwavering faithfulness. He endured betrayal, slavery, and imprisonment. Through it all, he remained steadfast in his faith. In the end, he rose above his circumstances. He saved his family and a nation from famine. Joseph's story reminds us that even in the darkest of times, hope and God's love can prevail.